You're watching Tech Talk in affiliation with Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live every Thursday at 8 p.m. London time, and we'll be streaming to Facebook and YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google, TuneIn, and many more. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, and your host, Philip Griffiths.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Tech for Tech Tech Talk. This is a live show where we help your IT business grow. Today, we're going to be talking about making extra income from residential customers, and I've got two guests on the show. So let me start off and basically get everyone who is watching to just comment. Let us know if you can actually hear us and obviously see us. Also, let us know where you're viewing from, and obviously we'll give you a shout out. And also let us know if you've been working today. Obviously, we've been Jubilee weekend. So I can see that Cormac can see us. So hello there, Cormac. And Facebook user, will come to your questions in a few minutes. But if you are a Facebook user or your name comes up as Facebook user, make sure you click that link what says chat.restream.io/FB to allow your name to be shown via Facebook. And hi there, Seamus, as well. Nice to see you tuning in. So, right, so let me just get that message off of the screen. So, right, let's go to Chris first. Chris, if you want to introduce yourself, let us know who you are, what you do, and what's this show about.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Chris Hodgkiss. I have a tech business called IT Made Simple. I'm based in Birmingham in the UK, and been in business just over 12 months, although I've been in the sector now almost 21 years. During that time, I've had my ups and downs in business like we all have, and had good days and bad days, should I say. I think that's about the best way to describe it to you. And back in 2005, I came across this business, Utility Warehouse. To be honest with you, at the time, I thought, I don't know, really. I'm trying to focus on my own business. You know, my interests were in the business that I had at the time. It really wasn't for me. So I turned down the opportunity, and lo and behold, I'm out networking, and somebody else approaches me. It was like it was coming back to haunt me, so to speak. And this time around, I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to see what it's all about. I had a business at the time that was very much focused on the consumer marketplace, so supporting people at home, rather than supporting businesses like I do today, and thought it would tie in quite nicely with what I was doing as generating an additional revenue. So I thought, I'm going to get out there, I'm going to get talking to my residential customers and use it as a way to kind of sell up, really, I guess, to the people that I'd already got. I recognised the fact quite quickly that trading time for money was a difficult thing to do. There was only so many hours in the week to do the work, and thought, well, the guy who introduced me to the business at the time was saying, maybe this might be something that might help you in generating some revenue whilst you're trying to get your business off the ground. So I stuck with it for as long as I could, and so I stayed with it for quite a few years, and plugged away at the business the best I could, until such point that I kind of put it to you, eventually kind of had to drop it again, and then kind of pick it back up again in later life. So Yeah, that's kind of my story, really. I just came across it through some networking opportunity. I've come and gone from the particular business, but more recently, obviously, with things that are going on in the world with energy price increases and whatnot, I thought it'd be a good point to getting back involved with the business again.
Okay, that's pretty good, Chris. Let's just quickly go through the chat. So nice to see you as well, Peter. And Carl's been installing CCTV today, so that's pretty good. Is it nice and warm there for you, Carl? I'm going to say it's been a pretty nice day for us, but unfortunately, I've been stuck indoors all day recording videos for NZXT. So it's been interesting in one form anyway, even though I'm not putting my feet up for a change. Right. Okay, so let's go on to Rhodri now. Okay, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, what you do, and then we can go from there.
Good evening, everybody. So my name is Rhodri Taylor, and I've been with UW now for about 6 years. In a past life, I was a former business and IT teacher, and I was sick and tired of the mundane, the daily grind of going to work, getting paid. I was at the top of the corporate ladder, and I just looked for an opportunity whereby I could do work once and get paid over and over again. Fast forward 7-8 years, I'm now a multiple business owner, UW being one of my income streams. And I just find this is a fantastic opportunity, especially where the market is right now, to be able to help as many people as we possibly can. So hence why I'm on the call this evening, to see if we can add value not only to each and every business out there, but also all the residential customers that could be in need of our service.
Okay, That sounds pretty good. So, guys, if you are not sure what UW is, or utility warehouse or whatever, obviously these guys are going to run us through in a few minutes exactly what's what. But I would suggest you listen and keep tuned, because obviously it's a way of either making a reoccurring income, which is always good. You don't really have to do much and you've got money coming in every month, or it's a way to get some lump sums of money, depending on which way you want to do it. So, right, I think you've got a presentation to show us today, haven't you, Rhodri?
I have indeed, Phil. Yeah, I'll share my screen now.
It looks like Cole says it's been very warm in a loft he's been working in today. Yeah, it's always one of those things, Cole, isn't it? On a hot day, you're always stuck in a loft or something like that, and on a cold day, they stick you in a conservatory or a shed. Always happens. So, right, let's start this presentation. Right. What was that, Chris? Sorry?
I say it sounds about right. I can relate to that one here.
Yeah, plenty of times. All right, let's start that one up. I'm just going to turn the chat off for now, guys, so you can still post in the chat. I'll get the messages, but it just won't show on the screen, and then we can bring them back up afterwards. So here we go. It's just so we can see, obviously, the message on the screen a bit easier.
Perfect. So thanks ever so much for that, Phil. So we are Utility Warehouse, or UW as we're now branded. And essentially, we want to help you save time and money as well as earn an additional income. If I may, I'll just play this very quick video.
I've discovered UW, a home services provider who does things a little differently. They make switching easy, and the more services you take, the more you save. Hey, Charlie. From Great Value Broadband. Energy for your home. Mobile SIMs with unlimited data. And insurance for the things that matter most. And every time you use your UW Cashback Card, the savings you make come straight off your bill. That's all your home services in one simple bill, saving you money and time, freeing you up for the more important things in life.
So with UW, you definitely are in safe hands. Now, many people, when we show this presentation, they've actually never heard of us, but we've actually been trading now since 1996. We're the UK's only genuine multi-service provider. We have over 70 awards, and many of those have only come in the last decade, and it's we're winning award after award. As you can see recently, we've just won USwitch Energy Awards for Best Customer Service, Most Likely to Recommend, and the Best Awards. And we're actually the Best by UW Wi-Fi Hub for Wi-Fi routers as well of 2022. So we have over 700,000 homes that we currently supply our services to, and we have thousands joining each and every month. And one of the benefits of being with UW is our peace of mind promise. So that means any of your potential clients, we can actually help them get out of existing contracts. We'll provide up to £200 to help them switch. We'll also guarantee energy savings. We're the only supplier out there that's currently 5% below the government's price cap. And within the first 40 days, if you're not entirely satisfied, we'll actually give you your money back and sort all your other suppliers out free of charge. So really, you have nothing to lose. And then we have our fabulous Cashback Card. So the Cashback Card that we provide for all our customers, if they choose to, will actually give 7% cash back on many of the high street stores that we use every day. So to give you an example, I fill up my car with petrol, I get money back off my utility bills. I buy food, I get money back off my utility bills. So everything that I spend my money on, Utility Warehouse actually give me a percentage back off my utility bill. And not only that, if you pass this on to any of your friends, you can also earn up to £50 as a referral as well. So we put all your home services in one simple monthly bill that's fully transparent and easy to understand. There's only ever one website. And for those of you out there that are all too familiar with having many passwords, there is only one password for you to remember also. We're also very green. So we have a corporate and social responsibility, so much so that we use 100% renewable electricity. You get £50 off when you take a free spark meter. And for every customer, we actually plant a new tree. And then there's becoming a UW partner. So how can you earn more than just an income?
I'm on a journey to find out what makes UW different. UW is a home services provider that helps people save time and money. But what you might not know is that people actually earn with them by simply introducing others to UW. They're called partners. But who are they and what do they do? I'm going to meet a few to find out. Why did you become a UW partner?
I heard about Utility Warehouse and about the opportunity to become a partner, and it matched the exact earnings that I was losing, which was £1,400 a month. With just 4 customers a month, I would earn the same.
So you can choose your own hours?
Oh, completely. Yeah, there's no set hours, there's no expectations. That's the best thing about it. It's totally my business, and particularly for my family. My son Joshua is autistic, so after school's a really key time, and Utility Warehouse enables me to do that.
So Jogger, I'm meeting various UW partners to understand how it has impacted positively on family life. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Actually, UW's changed our life massively. 6 years ago, we had our first child through IVF, and that was funded through the hours I worked with UW.
How does this work lifestyle compare to your previous work lifestyle?
Obviously, thoroughly enjoyed my time in the police. A lot of commitment, a lot of hours, but not necessarily the work-life balance. And what being a partner with the UW has allowed us to do is to enjoy the other side of working hard, but also enjoying the benefit of time.
So with Utility Warehouse, what you get is extra income and a long-term security. We enable our partners to choose when they want to work. We can boost their income. You can actually become your own boss. We can help you beat the cost of the living squeeze. You'll have multiple holidays and additional rewards. Plus, you can actually plan for retirement. Now, as you can see on the screen, the upfront income is quite lucrative as well. If you introduce just 4 qualifying customers in a calendar month, you can earn up to £1,400 after your supporting period is finished. You also get paid every month on an ongoing share of the bills from the customers that you introduced by you and your team. So what are you waiting for? Let's get you started. And that, Phil, is short and sweet.
There we go. That was probably one of the best presentations because it didn't drag on forever like, no offense, Microsoft, but yours took ages. It took about 40 minutes to do theirs. But there we go. Right. So, yeah, so that sounds pretty good. Before we go any further, though, talking about money, I have to pay the bills as well. So I have to show today's sponsor.
Aerocool's high-performance cases enable you to stay on your A-game. Whether it's the Prism or Evo Mini White, show off the inside of your rig with the full tempered glass panels. With RGB lighting and unique sleek designs, these cases are sure to make an impression. Be cool. Get Aerocool.
There we go. I didn't think that was going to come back on then, but yeah, there we go. So if you're interested in a different case design or different company to deal with, Aerocool's probably a good choice for you to do. And if you want to know where you can get hold of them, you can get them at CMS Distribution. But let's get on with the show anyway. So if anyone has got any questions, I'll put the chat back on now. Feel free to send them in and we'll go through all of them one at a time. We do have some questions what came in before the show went live, and we're going to get those out. The question first and the first question is, and it's a big one, so let's get it out of the way. Is Utility Warehouse a pyramid scheme?
Definitely not, Phil, but I understand with obviously misconception that, people may feel that is the case. But if I just may explain, a pyramid scheme is a scheme whereby you introduce people to a business, but generally you ask them to pay a high ticket to join that business. So ultimately you get paid for recruiting people. Utility Warehouse, we don't do that. So although there is a very small joining fee, we don't, as partners, actually get paid. That just covers the website, your domain name, your training. That's what the recruitment, the joining fee is, and it's only a measly £10. So, a pyramid scheme generally is where there's lots of people going out there recruiting, and you're having to pay £400, £500, £600 to join a business, and then obviously the person who introduced you gets a percentage of that. The only time that you get paid in Utility Warehouse is when you sign up a customer and we service that customer. So there's products and services, services behind the business. You don't have to recruit anybody in this business. You could join the business and go and build an income just based on helping your clients save money across their phone, broadband, mobile, electric and gas without any recruitment whatsoever, if that's how you wish to build your business. Does that answer the question? I would also urge everybody on the call to have a look at Utilities Warehouse. We're actually trading on the FTSE 250. We're trading as Telecom Plus. We're currently a £1.8 billion company on the stock exchange. We will be 2 billion by April next year. So we're definitely on a growth curve.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. And also in the UK, stuff like pyramid schemes are illegal anyway.
Correct,
and
yes.
If it was the case, I'm pretty sure they'd be shut down by now, especially with all the regulations going off in the last few years. So, but thank you for the question anyway. Let's just go to what's been said in the chat then.
Yeah.
So the first question, or I think it was more of a statement actually at the beginning of the show from Facebook user. It said, I used to deal with Opel Telecom, never again, ha ha. So I don't know if you've heard anything about Opel Telecom or anything like that, or if it's a similar scheme or anything like that.
No, I've never heard.
Opel used to have a partnership scheme back in the day. You could actually introduce them as a telecoms provider. I think they got bought out by TalkTalk eventually, or AOL or somebody similar. But yeah, I do remember the organisation long time ago, though.
Right, that's okay. Probably explains why Talk always used to be so bad. Well,
yeah, well, they probably followed suit, didn't
still
they?
bad, but still. But yeah, okay. So I think that's pretty good. So right, let's have a go from there. Here we go. Next question on there was from Carl. Is there any risk of stepping on the toes of any local partners?
No, Carl, there's no risk of stepping on toes of local partners. It's not like a traditional franchise where you have territories. You are free to speak to anybody that you want. If you think of how many homes there are in the UK, and we've got less than 2% of the UK market, there are many, many residential customers out there that you could speak to. Obviously, there's an etiquette, and if you know there's a partner, and they've spoke to everybody in their street and they've signed up customers, yes, you wouldn't go to the same street and start, speaking to those customers. But ultimately, you won't be stepping on. I mean, Chris is in Birmingham. I'm in Birmingham. There's hundreds of partners in Birmingham. So the market is that large, then I guess on anybody's toes.
I mean, but I'll just add to that a little bit as well. I mean, from my own experience, everybody's very friendly. We all get on very well. We are genuinely a team. We all want to support and help each other. So we don't class ourselves as competitors or anything like that. If anything, if we can help somebody else in the business, then we will, and vice versa. So it's very much a team spirit type organisation, really, with the way I've seen things.
Okay, sounds pretty good. I've got another question. What came in was, how do I sell this to customers? So how do I just go about and go, oh, hey, customer, I've got some free, well, not free, but some cheap electricity and broadband to give you. How do you actually talk them into it? Well, what's the sales pitch?
Well, I wouldn't say, I would say, Phil, with everything going on in the market, it's on everybody's mind to try and save money these days. So by knowing that you're going in with a reputable, a British FTSE 250 company that's been around a long, long time, this just by literally saying, do you have an electric bill? Would you like to pay less? Let's have a chat. There's something I can show you. Do you have utility bills? Would you like to pay less on your utility bills? Let me show you what we do. You've seen how quick the presentation is, how very straightforward, and then obviously the quoting section along with that, following your training, is very basic and straightforward as well. So, I mean, to sell it, to answer your question, it's just asking the right questions. Do you have an electricity bill or utility bill, and would you like to pay less? If the answer to that is yes, then obviously we can then show our presentation, show our quoting, and indeed help the customer. I think we're saving, just on the energy alone at the minute, Phil, we are saving on average £400 a year.
Yeah,
especially so it's and when you bundle our services together, the savings just increase
even more. That's right. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah, the more stuff you buy, the better. And obviously, if it's all bundled together in one thing, it's a lot easier for the customer. It's one bill they have to worry about rather than lots of different things coming out from different people and one point of contact if they need to. Which brings me on to the next question, point of contact. If they do have a problem, let's just say their broadband stops working, which is obviously going to be one of the big things with us being technicians or whatever, who would they contact? Would they actually contact us as a reseller, or would they actually contact Utility Warehouse directly?
Well, Utility Warehouse have got over 1,000 staff in London, technical teams. So the simple answer to that is, just like if you were with any other provider, you would contact the technical support of that provider. So yes, we can handle that. If they do want to speak to the resellers or the partners, because you've built that relationship, then that's okay. But ultimately, it'll be Utility Warehouse that will, find any faults and obviously remedy those faults.
So
I was going to say, it's going to happen quicker, isn't it? Otherwise, it's going to be two separate conversations, isn't it, really? We're going to end up relaying only what the customer says back to customer services anyway, and in that time, they might as well have contacted them directly.
I agree.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So in basics, you're all you're doing is really selling the product rather than providing a service of ongoing maintenance, or you're
Correct.
not going to go around and fix the boiler if the boiler breaks or anything daft
No.
like that. It's basically you're just basically selling them the actual contract. Going on to selling them the contract is another question. Is I know it's hard to say per customer, but how much money would I make per customer per month? It says.
Well, if you go back to the presentation with 4 qualifying customers, that's customers with at least 3 services, you could earn up to £1,400. So it varies depending on what a customer takes out. But if we just look at a basic energy customer, so for gas and electric, obviously we all know that our rates have gone up, or the increase. So you could be looking at a residual income of anything between £3 to £20 a month per customer.
And there you go. So it just depends, and obviously it
depends on the usage. Yes,
yeah,
it depends on the services and indeed the usage.
And it's all reliant, obviously, on you selling the service as well to the customers. Obviously, you're not going to make money by just signing up to Utility Warehouse and just sitting on your backside. You've actually got to speak to your customers. And as obviously the guys here have said, is you're at people's houses. If you're already in the house, people generally will give you some form of trust already. You've probably been dealing with these people for years. You can easily bring it up in the conversation because I think near enough every customer I've seen at a house in the last at least month or two has been going on about prices. If it's not electric prices, it could be gas prices, it's fuel prices for your car, whatever it may be. Everything's going up, and you can easily bring it up in the conversation. You could say, oh, look, these are the guys what we're recommending. They can save you money, blah, blah, blah. Just basically go onto this website, because I think you guys give does each person get like a personalized link or website address to go to?
We do, yeah. I mean, I personally chose to obviously put a domain over the top of it to redirect it, just to make it a little bit easier to find and type in. But other than that, everybody gets their own dedicated.
Yeah, so you could basically say, yeah, go to our website, click on that, or you give them a dedicated one like Chris says, which is Join Team Purple or whatever it may be. And you just give the customer that, and they can basically get a quote then and there. They just put the details in, and hey, presto. And then you walk away, and that could be the end of the story by the sounds of it. So, and then you're going to, well, obviously, depending on how much you sell and what so forth, you could be getting a few quid income every month, or even those lump sums. So Carl's asking, can we deal with Utility Warehouse customer service on the customer's behalf?
It obviously, it all depends on what you need to do for that customer. If you know the customer, I'll give you an example. An elderly lady wanted some help with a SIM card, then by all means, yes. Obviously, if it becomes a bit more technical, then it would have to go through the technical team. But yes, you can be involved as much as you want with the customers and help them as much as you want, or as little as you want.
I think it's we just haven't got access to the same systems that they have, do we? Really, as partners, if it's something, maybe let's say for example it's a line fault or something like that, and obviously that's got to go through the tech team. But but we, as partners, we don't have access to the same systems that they do at head office. But at the same time, as Rhodri correctly said, if it's something stupid that you just want to get sorted down, then to hit the customer loyal and whatever else, and it's a good thing to do. It looks good on you, and then more likely they're going to want to refer you to somebody else as well.
So that sounds pretty good. And I know a lot of you are probably out there going, oh, yeah, but I fix computers. I'm not whatever, this, that, and the other. It's basically just an extra service you're selling, and it really doesn't take much to do. So, and everyone, especially in the current environment, wants a reoccurring income. I've said many times in the past, my business, if I didn't have reoccurring incomes, some of the months, especially over times of when we've had COVID and so forth, we've had enough money coming in from our maintenance contracts, reoccurring incomes to pay all our bills, so we didn't have to worry. So signing up for services like this can be very beneficial. Obviously, check it out. Obviously, check the website, check it out yourself. Even go on to Chris's Join Team Purple page or whatever. I think you've got a separate page as well for your customers. Try it out and basically just see how your bills add up and compare, and then obviously then you know what you're actually selling and all the things what there are there to offer. So I think there's plenty of opportunities here to, especially if you've got a lot of customers you do visit, to actually get yourself a good reoccurring income.
I certainly do find if you've got your own storage at hell, it does make things just that little bit easier, and it gives confidence in the customer as well that you've done it yourself. Then they're more likely to want to do something. I did see another question down the bottom there as well from, I think it's from Will Muir. Is it? He says, you mentioned income security. However, you need to gain the qualifying customer. So if the customer changes their mind, upon sign up or during the contract, how it's went up on the screen now. Also, given the market's very volatile, what security is there? There is contracts, isn't there, Rhodri, with some of the services, I believe. Isn't there contracts of the broadband and such like? But
we're no different to any other supplier in the market. Obviously, there's going to be contracts for energy, for broadband, for mobile, for insurance. So you mentioned, however, you need to gain the. So let me read the question again. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, let me put it back.
You mentioned income security. However, you need to gain the qualifying customer. So if the customer changes their mind during sign up or during the contract, no income. I would agree with you, but ultimately that's the same with any business. If you run a traditional business and people don't buy your products or your services, then you don't get paid. The beauty of this is you do the job once, and with that customer, you will continue to get paid over and over. I've been paid for 7 years of work I did once 7 years ago. I've never heard of the customer. I'm still getting paid X amount every single month. In fact, I had 70 customers start paying me residual income this month from work that I did 5 years ago. So that was an additional 70 extra, whatever it may be, every single month now for the foreseeable future.
It soon adds up over the time, and especially if you're signing up new contracts every month and so forth, you're getting more and more and more what's coming in. So it's definitely something.
It goes back to what I said earlier, where I just didn't see the light in the early days, but I see the power of recurring revenue now in a completely different light. Even as a, should we say, as an IT guy, obviously we're all selling, IT services that are chargeable monthly and whatnot. So, I really see the light with it now.
I'd also like. Going back to that question as well, to answer that, I mean, there's been over 30 energy providers that have gone bust in the last few years. I'm sure there'll be a few more. I don't know what's going to happen in the market. Nobody's got a crystal ball. However, as far as utility warehouse, please do your due diligence. Look at the finances of the company. Have a look how strong that we are. Just so you're aware on the call, we've got a trade deal till 2033 for our energy alone. So, you're looking at another 11 years with an energy deal that we have. So we're not going anywhere, whereas I'm sure you'll see many others still falling by the wayside.
Okay, some good points there. There's definitely quite a few electric places, and obviously that means people are looking for new providers as well. So good opportunities there, I suppose. Next question is there a minimum number of customers I need? So let's just say I just signed up one customer. Would I get an income from that? Or is there like a minimum number I have to have, like say 10 people signed up before I actually get any income?
No, so you need to be what we call qualified. A qualified distributor is a minimum of 3 customers, yourself included. You could be yourself as a customer, 2 others, and then you're classed in the business as qualified. So you will continue to get paid then.
So you could potentially just sign yourself up, your mum and dad and your brother and sister or whatever, and you're basically qualified.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Okay, sounds pretty good. I think that pretty much answers that one. William's basically saying, thank you for the answers. Is Utility Warehouse on any comparison websites?
If you go onto comparison sites at the minute, UW are probably the only ones that are on there. As a rule, we were never on comparison websites because of the model of how those comparison sites made income. But obviously, with everything that's gone on in the market at the minute, we are on websites because we're one of the only providers that are still taking on customers. So yes, William, to answer your question, we are on comparison websites. And I urge you to have a look at your own consumption for the energy and have a look how UW stands. Yeah,
I must admit, I agree with that actually, because our electric's due to be renewed. Well, say renewed, come to the end of the contract in a couple of months' time. They sent me a letter and everything, and I'm like, right, nowhere wants to sign up new contracts or whatever. But when obviously I checked your website out, it was like, oh yeah, we can sign you up. Don't get me wrong, prices are a lot more expensive than they have been, but they're going to be everywhere, to be honest with you. But it was a better price than the standing charge what they normally do if you're out of contract. So there's definitely got options there to sell. So that's pretty good. So let's have a look. Do you need to be VAT registered or have anything else specific, like a company number or anything like that to sign
Not
up?
at all. So you can sign yourself up, Phil, personally. And no, you don't need to be VAT registered. You can just literally sign up and go out and help people save money. Yeah, so it's a business in a box.
That sounds pretty good as well. Cole looks pretty busy tonight with questions. If anyone else does have any questions, though, please feel free to ask. If you don't ask, then, well, you're not going to know. So there is no such thing as a silly question apart from the question you don't ask. So make sure you ask. So Carl's basically saying, is there an option for signing up businesses?
Yes, there is.
Okay,
there is an option for...
Yeah,
it's a difference. Yeah, sorry. So yes, Carl, you can actually sign up businesses to Utility Warehouse and offer them the services that we offer. So broadband, gas, electric, etc.
That's pretty good. Is that going to be like a different pricing model? Is it on that?
Yes, that is a different pricing model. Yeah, but we've got a dedicated business line that can help with that as well.
Okay, it's a slightly different sales process, isn't it, Rhodri? When we go to sign people up through that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still another way of making it a reoccurring income, especially if you're dealing primarily with businesses, I suppose.
Definitely, because obviously the higher the businesses generally tend to use a lot more. So, the higher the consumption, the larger that your income is.
I think you need to get William Murr promoting you guys. Apparently, he's just posted on Trustpilot. Utility website have 22,523 reviews with greater than 65% excellent services. Well done. Maybe worth the look. So,
thank you, William.
Definitely worth the look, I'd say. Like with anything, I'm not pushing anyone on anything, but I think it's a good idea that anyone who is watching is you just look into it. It's not going to hurt you or cost you anything just to look into it. Just obviously compare your own prices you're paying first to see how they compare, and then you'll get an idea what sort of things you can offer your customers. Again, you don't have to take any payments or anything like that from the customers. Obviously, Utility Warehouse are going to do all that, and then you get the commission paid to yourselves. How do you actually get the commission? Is it like a direct debit every month or type of thing?
Yeah, 21st of every month, Phil, that we get our commission from what we've done in the previous month. Okay. And then obviously that builds up, month in, month out. My income has never stopped growing in 7 years.
So that's even better thing, because obviously if you have to bill the customers yourself, then that goes against your tax, VAT, and everything like that, where you're actually only going to be making the commission off of it. So obviously it's going to be a lot lower. You don't have to worry about going over VAT thresholds if you're under a VAT threshold or tax brackets or anything like that, unless you get a lot of people signing up. Then that's another another thing. But there you go. So yeah, that sounds pretty good. Right, guys, do you have any more questions in the chat? If you do, obviously, feel free to send them over. We'll obviously go through them. If you don't, obviously, we'll end the show in a few minutes' time. So make sure you do send those questions over. If anyone is watching this show on the replay or they're listening to it on something like a podcast or something like that, there is a website you can go to. I'm just going to put it on screen for you. So it is usual http://jointeampurple.co.uk. So that's basically jointeampurple.co.uk, and that'll take you basically to Chris's portal, and you'll be able to go through there and have a look what you can do, and it'll obviously tell you all about it. You can sign up and so forth.
Yeah, I'll just explain that. So that the jointeampurple.co.uk website is for those people who are interested in the partner opportunity. So if they want to come on board and join us as a partner and potentially introduce us to their customers, then that's the portal to sign up for that. If you're looking at getting a quote and you're a residential customer and you want to get a quote for services for yourself at home, just to give it a bit of a try, you can go to savingsforhome.co.uk, and you're not committing to anything as long as you don't press the complete button at the end. You can go through the whole process of putting in your name, address, and such like, and do some comparisons on the services without any commitment, and signing up if that's what you want to do.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Do you want to just type that in our private chat, Chris, that web address, and then I can just quickly share it for us, so I'll make sure I've got the right address.
Should be already on there for you, Phil.
Oh, I must have missed it then. Oh, yes, it is. So there's me missing it. So, right, no problem. Let me just copy that, copy link address, and stick it on the screen in the chat for everyone, which is there. So if you want to check your own, obviously, power, electric, broadband, blah, 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 you can do on that website, which is savings4home.co.uk. And also, obviously, if you want to join up, it's jointeampurple.co.uk. Right, so it looks like we haven't got any more questions. So it looks like your presentation and what you've basically said has basically answered everyone's questions. So that's very good. Have you got anything else you would like to add on, basically? Is there anything else you would like to, any final thoughts, should we say?
I'll let you go first, Rhodri. That's all right. And then I've got one thing to say.
Okay, all I would say is anybody on the call that's looking or potentially looking for an opportunity to generate an additional income that's solid and secure, definitely have a look at. If it's not UW, what is it? Because I'm a firm believer of having multiple forms of income. I always have done. And if UW is not another option for you, please ensure that you do have others.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. What about yourself, Chris?
So I am a member of the Tech for Techs for my IT company, so you'll find me in the community. If people have got any questions or they want to reach out to me, then you will find me in the Tech for Techs group under my IT company. But feel free to private message me, ping me a message on Facebook or any of the platforms. You'll see me in LinkedIn, you'll find me in Facebook and all the other usual places, so feel free to reach out to me.
William, to answer, is that Ben Fogle in the ads?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. There you go, then. So that's, I think, the last question has come in. So yeah, guys. So if you're looking at reoccurring income, you're always complaining that you need more money coming in, you need more money to support your business. This is definitely an option. You've got the contacts already. You see these people. You've generally got the trust. It's easy to start a conversation with them about electric prices and say, oh, yeah, have you tried looking at this website here, and then talk them through it? And you never know, you might sign them up and it's took you less than 5 minutes to do it. So I'd suggest having a look at it. Worst case scenario, it ain't going to cost you anything just to have a look at it. And if you've got any questions and you can't get hold of Chris for whatever reason, let me know if you're in the Tech for Techs group, or put a post on and tag me in, and I'll tag Chris in for you, so make sure he gets the message. Okay, so otherwise it should be pretty straightforward then. So there's not too much to worry about there. Right, before we go any further, or should I say end the show, we do have a show next week. So that's if anyone's not getting any hangovers after this weekend and so forth, which will be on Thursday. And that show is going to be Replace Base. So if you've not heard of Replace Base before, we will have them on the show. So obviously they'll be going over basically parts for laptops, phones, and so forth. Obviously tune in to get a bit more information. They'll probably do a lot more than that. So they will be on the show next Thursday at 8 p.m. The week after that, it's the TechMax pre-show, because that is the week before. the TechMax event. So, and if you haven't signed up for that, I'll put your little video up in a few seconds. Make sure you do, because last time I checked yesterday, we only had 22 tickets left. So that's 22 left. Okay, so if you haven't bought any, make sure you do. I can see actually just on the show tonight we've had while we've been on, Simon Aston's going to bought himself 2 tickets while we've been on live tonight. So obviously make sure you do have a look and get a ticket if you want him on. Don't get contacting me in a week's time and saying there's no tickets, can I have any, because we will be at capacity, fire and safety regulations and so forth. So if you do want to come, get a ticket. Simple as that. Right. Okay, guys. So we'll call it a night there. Again, as I said, next week, Thursday, 8 p.m, we'll be back on. Just tune in, same time, usual place. But otherwise, we'll say good night. Thanks again. And thanks to Chris and Rhodri for joining us tonight and showing us another way to make more money. And, well, I'm not going to complain about doing that, to be honest with you. But there we go. So good night, everyone, and see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.
Can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you? Strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors and meet some of the biggest names in the industry. Where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow. Where there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. And what's more, you get all that for a quid. TechMax 2022 will be on the 24th of June at Bramall Lane, the Sheffield United football stadium in Sheffield. There will be around 50 different brands available for you to meet and up to 500 other techs just like you. Get registered now at techmax2022.co.uk.